gets a car! You get a car! You get a car!
You don't know which of the 20 or 30 days in the next 12 months give you all the returns. Today was one of them. So trying to time the market in volatility is next to impossible.
Woo! Baby, if you woke up this morning, guys, we just saw one of the greatest pumps in the stock market we've pretty much seen in the last year. I mean, just take a look at what's going on the floor at CNBC's trading desk.
This is an enormous rally right now.
Well,
can we sustain it?
I'm saying it's an opportunity to get up.
Can it be sustained? I mean, Amazon is up 8%, whether it's the algorithms or whatever it might be based on CPI and what that points to. There are people who are saying this is the beginning of the new.
Oh, yeah. All the historical charts, if you plot the S&P against peak CPI, I mean, the right side of that line tends to be pretty good.
Today, folks, we got to talk about the data driving this insane rally, because I've said this pretty much since July that inflation is dead, and I'm going to talk about where I think it's going to be looking like moving forward. But we got to talk about what happened yesterday versus what's going on today, because today, when you scroll into the heat map on Yahoo Finance, it is damn near jaw-dropping that we're still in this market of volatility where large caps are by the definition trading like small caps. Like, this is insane. These are like penny stock kind of movements when Amazon is up 13% in a single day. Apple, man, up 6%. You know, Meta was the only green stock yesterday, and today it's up another 8%. But this is like a night and day story, because yesterday this is what the market literally looked like, and a lot of people were speculating all of this was driven from the crypto crash. And I mean, that story is still percolating in a very negative way. I mean, Binance yesterday announced that as a result of corporate due diligence and as well as the latest news reports regarding mishandled customer funds and alleged US agency investigations, we have decided that we will not pursue the potential acquisition of FTX. And the big problem here, guys, is no one trusts Binance either. I mean, take a listen to Dumb Money and what they were talking about today.
Funny thing is, Binance, it's like, where do you look now? Because Binance is far from, like, you know, a lock when it comes to a stable, super transparent company. All I'm getting at here is I actually don't believe crypto is permanently dead.
But it's dead for you at the moment.
It's dead for me at the moment because I only have one crypto thesis, and it no longer applies at this moment in time.
As I mentioned yesterday, I got so lucky here dumping the rest of my Bitcoin last week. These are the actual sales going from last Friday to the beginning of September, and it freaked me out because miners are going broke, which means blocks, the actual transaction, is having a harder time closing, and I had to jack the fees all the way up to get my Bitcoin to even transfer. But anyways, putting that aside,
this is the kind of market where the one thing you cannot do is call bottom, because as soon as you say this is the bottom, you just get reamed. You get punished so hard, and Daddy Powell likes it hard. He ain't stopping with the reamage, and it's bad.
The stock market is pure fugazi. It's not trading off fundamentals here, folks. So anyone trying to call a bottom, call a top, using current data to look at forward-looking information and predicting stock prices is speculating, which me, Kevin's done a lot lately. It's all complete bullshit. And don't judge me off what I say, because I make a lot of stupid speculative statements. Judge me by my actions. And over the last month and a half, I've been investing harder since the beginning of the year, because foundational assets have jumped 5 years back in time on their stock prices and are paying out record yields. That the fundamentals of a lot of these businesses really aren't eroding that bad. I mean, realistically, for how bad the market should be, earnings are actually a little more hopeful if you're not just looking at pinpointing specific companies. And taking a look at the S&P 500 here, I mean, I don't know if this is a bottom or not, guys, but it feels damn good today, you know, when you cost average so aggressively in these wicked periods of volatility and depressiveness that, you know, I'm up like 10, 15,000 bucks just in the last day here. And I'm going to be revealing my entire portfolio tomorrow, as I've done every week on this channel. So consider subscribing for that, because I'll show you the individual accounts. But I don't know if this is just a short-term stint of good dopamine rush that's going to come to a fading end as time moves forward, because right now the market's purely trading off these fundamentals of inflation, which, to be honest, I've been saying this since July, that inflation is dead. And the only reason I can say that is because based over a 12-month trailing period is how you get that 7.7% inflation rate, right? But once every month peters over, they're going to wipe out October, November, December. So come December, January, we're really going to start seeing inflation roll over, presuming these numbers in the coming months stay low, which I'm predicting they will, which is again speculating. But then come March, April, May, inflation is going to completely roll over. And I really don't think this is going to be a story anymore. But just read into this real briefly here, guys, because they're saying that the index for shelter contributed to over half of the monthly all items increase, with indexes for gasoline and food also increasing. The energy index increased 1.8% over the month as gasoline index and the electricity index rose, but the natural gas index decreased. Food index increased 0.6%, with food at home index rising 0.4%. Now, what freaks me out about this is we're living in a new market of higher prices because prices ain't going to roll back. Go look at commodities, aluminum, steel, copper, everything is rolling off. So Coca-Cola, for example, if they can get aluminum to build their cans cheaper, shouldn't they technically be bringing the prices down? Shouldn't Pepsi be lowering the price of Doritos now that they're worth like over $5 a bag? No, they're going to keep these prices high, and as inflation rolls off, they are not going to lower them, and inflation won't go higher because they'll stop increasing prices. They're just going to level off, which means corporate profit, once we kind of get through the interest raising cycle here, should actually start to look much better coming out of this recessionary period. Now, that could take 6-12 months. That's kind of what I'm predicting is going to happen here. But hey, unlike a lot of YouTubers, I'm willing to admit I don't know what the F I'm talking about. I'm not trading off my future forward-looking predictions here, and like you, my family was devastatingly hit by this current market crash cycle. I give you this little glimpse of entertainment, this hope, because in the bottom of my soul, I'm always a glass half full kind of a guy, and I will fight, I will scratch, I will keep my head down, sell my bed, and sell my shoes to continue to try and get ahead and fight to prove that this stuff is truly possible at any income level. Because like you, I'm not a guy that was making six figures throughout my entire 20s, yet I've been able to pull off what I've been able to pull off through luck, diligence, and just doing this stuff, right? And take a look at the markets right now, man. Like I said, I don't want to get too hopeful because God knows that there's going to be some profit taking, but it's continuing to rally into the, what are we at here? As of filming this, we're now at 130, guys, and Google's up, 6.5%. Apple is pushing higher now, up over 6%. Meta here still pushing higher. Everything is continuing to look like it's trending up, which again is just something that proves you just need to keep buying in the most negative parts of the market. And I just feel like as this negative compounds, guys, it can only get so bad before again it starts getting better, even with negative news. It kind of reminds me of some of that last Federal Reserve meetings when even though the meeting wasn't that great and Jerome Powell was trying to beat the market down, it was still able to rally. I think people are getting a little exhausted. I think the market's getting exhausted, and eventually, guys, we're going to come back. We're going to be living the good fight, and everyone that died off that is no longer around, and I'm seeing it everywhere on YouTube, like yesterday, PPC and getting out of crypto, we're going to see a big consolidation of people that were just too speculative, too risky, and they're gonna get wiped out. And I'm not the best YouTuber, I ain't the worst YouTuber, but the difference between me and most people is I'm here every damn day making these videos, and I'll be around a lot longer, and I will outlast most of them, and we're seeing that in this current market cycle. And I will truly pass the question off to you here, folks. How are you pulling off your own life in this current insanity? I'd love to hear about everything. I love the comments. I'm cleaning up the comment section a lot, getting rid of the scammers and actually trying to engage with you guys because I think it's really important in these current market moments. So stay cool, stay awesome, and as always, I'll catch you tomorrow.